welcome to Vibe Cafe. This is a show where we have interesting, informative, and sometimes controversial conversations, as well as give you maximum entertainment and positive vibes, as we always do on the show. My name is Larry Nicodemus. As always, the beautiful Oge is here.
Of course, I'm Oge, and it's such a pleasure to be here. Welcome to the show.
Okay, so today we have a super packed show. We're going to be talking about something very important. I feel like I always say very important, because we talk about very important stuff.
things.
And we have a guest who's going to be coming on the show to have the conversation with us. We've also got movie reviews, games, and so much more. You do not want to miss out on this show. So we'll go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. Today on the show, we're talking about the blood donation culture in Nigeria. And joining us to have that conversation today is a medical doctor. She's also a social media strategist and content curator. Her name is Dr. Joy Aifowokan.
She also volunteers at NGOs such as the 100K Club and the Smile With Me Foundation.
Welcome to the show. How are you feeling?
Very fine, thank you.
All right, amazing. I'm so excited about this because, we know that this has been a struggle in Nigeria. Blood donation culture in Nigeria is very, very poor. But before we dive into the conversation proper, we have a World Blood Donation Day. Can you speak on that? What is that all about, and what are we supposed to do on this day?
Okay, so the idea behind the World Donation Day is simply to raise awareness on the statistics as regards blood donation as a country and Africa as a large, to demystify myths, because we know with the African population comes with misconception and myths around medical related topics, and also to encourage people to develop a blood donation culture. So that's really the goal. The essence is to in turn inspire and encourage people to begin to donate blood. So usually the ideal thing to do on blood donation day is to actually go and donate blood.
Okay.
And not just that day, but to make it a consistent, repeated action in individuals.
Okay, so why do you think the culture to donate blood in Nigeria is this poor?
So with every medical related challenge in Nigeria or Africa is usually multifaceted. So there's the part of the government, and then there's the part of the individual. So the average Nigeria feels like they don't have enough blood. That's the usual.
They don't have enough blood.
I don't have enough blood. Why like I give the one I have? And there's that misconception. Then there's the part of just outright illiteracy, which is supposed to be the responsibility of the government to enlighten. So in civilized countries, we have an entire blood donation scheme, and their responsibility is to have centers divided around the country, communities, to consistently educate people on the importance of blood donation. But we do not see that playing out in the country. Most times when the topic of blood donation comes out, it's on Blood Donation Day, and we have organizations, NGOs come out. We do an elaborate speech and facade, and we bring out canopies, and we do that. But after that, the conversation ends completely. So a culture is built by consistency. You can only speak a language if you keep on speaking the language.
True.
So because we don't have that, people just, it's not important. They don't feel it's important, so they don't do it. The only reason they will want to donate blood if there's an emergency. And the sad part is that we don't have emergency facilities. Nigerians like emergencies. They wait till it's an emergency, but we don't have the facilities to maintain emergencies. So it's really the government is not educating the people. The people who are enlightened are just like a handful, so they go and donate. But the vast majority feels like it's not important. I don't need to do it. Or even if they feel that it's important, they feel like, oh, I'm not healthy enough to even donate blood. So it's really all around those topics.
So you talked about the importance of donating blood. Can you share with us some of the very vital, important reasons to donate blood?
Okay, so for every country, there's an ideal percentage based on the population of blood that is supposed to be available. And really, so why do we need to donate blood? Two major factors. So we have groups of individuals who are known as high-risk individuals. These are individuals that actually need blood donation. So it's usually around pregnant women and under 5 children. And it's simple. Under 5 children, they are more predisposed to diseases, immunity-related issues. In pregnant women, obviously, they're literally sharing their blood with another human. So there's that need to donate blood. So why is this important? So Nigeria up until 2020 still consists 80% of the maternal mortality in Nigeria is as a result of insufficiencies in blood donation. About 75% of the deaths under 5 are always somewhat related to blood inadequacies or blood related issues. So for a country with these statistics, our focus or a major part of our health should be how do we solve this problem. That's why it's important, because we have a very high amount of high risk individuals who actually need blood, and we don't have those facilities on ground to help them. So it's so important for us, but I mean, this is where we are.
Okay. I think because of what you said, I'll just, dive right into our fact file. So there's something we do on the show called Fact File, where we open, a file. And today on the Fact File, it says that according to the National Blood Service Commission, Nigeria Blood Bank experienced a deficit. The commissioner also said that Nigeria, because of Nigeria's large population, will require a minimum of 2 million safe blood units per annum. But as we speak, we have about 25,000. That is a huge gap.
Exactly. It's actually 73.5% deficits that we have right now. So that's like,
that is a huge gap, for especially for a country like ours, where at every point in time there is an emergency.
Exactly.
You hear of accidents, you hear of different things. What can we do as individuals, as people, as a community, to bridge that gap?
So it's simple, actually. So as individuals, we have to inoculate the culture of blood donation. So most times when people see it, they see it as something they are losing from. So if I donate blood, I will lose. But actually, I mean, science research has shown that people who actually donate blood are actually healthier than individuals that do not donate blood. So what it does is that the more you donate blood, your body obviously goes back and then rejuvenates itself. Like, it stimulates the cells that are supposed to help in the entire blood curation or creation process to actually release, I mean, healthier, I don't want to use the word fresher, but I mean fresher red blood cells. And that's what people don't understand. They feel like they're losing out on something, but you're actually gaining. And when you think that this 1 pint of blood can save a child, can save a mother, when you think of, I mean, you know how we say not all heroes wear capes. It's literally that. So whenever I see someone willingly walk into the hospital, I feel like hugging them most days, like, thank you for this. So we have to understand the importance of this. That's why I'm very big on statistics. So most times people know that there's a problem, but people don't know the statistics. If average Nigeria just feels like, oh, there's a blood donation problem, but they don't know exactly how bad it is until maybe an aunt or a sister or a sibling suffers from it, and then you see them, oh, is this bad? We didn't know it's this bad. So we have to develop the culture of voluntary blood donation. So the ideal is for there to be voluntary blood donation, but what we see now is that blood donation has become commercialized.
True.
So there are more non-voluntary blood donators than voluntary blood donators, and with that comes the problem. So research now shows that most of the non-voluntary blood donators or people who go to donate that we are actually doing that because of financial remuneration, and also because they have been. And then two, the other important is that these individuals, it shows that their blood level, so there are different parts of the blood, so the hemoglobin concentration of their blood is usually low. So although we have an increase in non-voluntary donators, the quality of the blood they produce is not even what people who are sick actually need.
Is that because they've been donating over and
Exactly.
over again?
So the repeated pattern of, so most of them did because of money.
Okay.
So they come this month, they do it. Ideally, once you donate this month, give or take at least 3 months. So they come this month, the next month they are there and they lie. So they start to withdraw certain important medical information like family history, and all of these are very important. We have had several situations where certain people actually had sexually transmitted infections and actually came to donate blood. Although you can screen, and you'll find out on screen, and sometimes in very little instances you don't find out on screen, and that's one individual who did not have a sexually transmitted disease now having that because of blood donation. So when you say all these things in black and white and keep on repeating it, so the problem with Nigeria is, okay, we know the problem, repetition. We have to keep on saying it and keep on saying it. You need to donate blood. You need to donate blood. So every opportunity we get is an opportunity to remind someone the importance, the need to check your PCV first of all. So most people say, oh, I don't have enough blood. Have you checked your PCV? Do you know what it is? if it's for a female, if it's above 35, you're good to go. For a male, 38, 40, you can't donate blood because, I mean, these are uncles and all these men. They're not losing anything, but they don't like donating. So you have to keep on saying it over and over again until it becomes a culture of blood donation.
Okay, so what are the necessary requirements for a blood donor?
Okay, so the first thing you will do is that they will take a general overall history from you. So you have to be, well, the legal age in Nigeria above 18 years old.
Okay.
Although we see in some very rare instances where people below that can donate blood. So you have to be above 18 years old. You have to be physically fit. So by physical fitness, so you'll be, a general physical examination will be done on you, and during general physical examination, we could detect certain abnormalities like pallor, jaundice. Pallor is the first indication that you have anemia. Anemia is like when your blood level is below the normal. So you can actually see that on a general physical examination. You can notice abnormalities. So scarification marks generally are not a contraindication. By scarification marks, I mean things like tribal marks, tattoos they are not a contraindication for blood donation. When they become a contraindication is if these tattoos or scarification are now infected.
Okay.
So that shows that there has been some form of contamination. So wherever we have to then go further to do a full blood count. So a full blood count will basically show us the red blood cells, the white blood cells, and the platelets. So what we're concentrated in blood donation is the red blood cells. That's like the amount of blood you have, what we know as the packed cell volume. So in women, as long as it's anything above 35%, you can donate. In men, 38, 40%. So different laboratories usually have different reference intervals. But most times, if it's above that reference interval, you're good to go. So they would, like I said, as long as those scarification marks are not infected, you're good to go. As long as you're not with drinking is somewhat permissible, but it becomes a problem if you are someone who consistently takes alcohol, especially above the what is required, what is described as the moderate amount of alcohol. And then with smoking, if it's things like tobacco, it's somewhat permissible, but when you are taking things like narcotics and marijuana, it's somewhat, I mean, we don't want to be carrying that kind of blood and giving it to something. So they have to take a very detailed history. So family history, if you're sexually active, when was your last sexual exposure, they have to be screened then for sexually transmitted infections. And what we do is HIV 1 and 2, hepatitis B and C, then syphilis or VDRL, that's what it's called. We screen you for, so these three sexually transmitted infections are actually done before, and if you have to be negative, and not just negative, in proper centers you have to actually present with a 6 months prior investigation, because we know with sexually transmitted infections you can be negative at this point in time, and then in like 3 months you can then be positive. So you actually have to present with a 6 months. So I did one in January and I want to donate now. I have to come with an investigation that said 6 months ago I was fine and I'm also fine now as well. So it's really around that. It's a thorough procedure that should be done. But most times, because it's an emergency, we are in a hurry, we really just want to save life, you will see medical personnel skipping up some of these processes just to make sure that, let's get this blood and give it to them. They will do the basics, which are the HIV, hepatitis, VDR, all of that. But sometimes the general physical examination, asking of those important family history, is there someone with hypertension in your family, with diabetes, with a chronic disease, and all of that. Those are, because we're in a hurry, we just keep out on those. But all of this, you have to be physically fit, your PCV level, and sexually transmitted infection. They always have to be done.
So for someone who just heard you talk about this problem and is just realizing how serious it is and wants to help, what are the steps to getting your blood donated? And also, what blood type? Because some people say, if you have certain blood type, you can. So what blood types are required?
Okay, so your first step as regards blood donation, I feel it's always introspection. So ask yourself basic questions. Am I healthy? Am I fit? Am I living a lifestyle that is, optimal for blood donation? So you want to make sure that your diet is healthy, you're eating well, you're staying hydrated, and I mean you have not been exposed to any form of sexually transmitted infection at least in the last 3 months, the next thing you want to do is to find a center. So the major problem with is issue of proximity. So people say, oh, the hospital is 1 hour ago, 1 hour away, I can't walk all the way there, or I can't go all the way there. Then they have the problems of the waiting lines. I mean, the long line, I'll go and wait and all of that. So for me, I just say, so there are certain government-owned establishments that are actually in charge of blood collection and distribution. But I will not say you should wait to find that one, because we just have 16 across the entire country.
Wow.
So maybe Lagos will have one. The next state that has one is like Ogun State. You can't wait to go to all those facilities. And you know, with those facilities comes bureaucracy. You come, you have to sit down, you have to wait. They'll bring for you like 5 forms, fill here, tick here, and all of that. As long as you have a hospital that you regularly go for treatments, I mean, that should be the hospital you're giving blood back to. So just really walk in there and tell them, introduce yourself, tell them you want to donate blood. That's what they'll take it up from there. They'll do a general physical examination for you. They'll take your blood sample and then run screening investigation. And if it's optimal and if it's okay, I mean, they'll set it up and then you get to donate blood. I mean, because we're Nigerians, everybody tell you to go and drink Coke. I know it's malt and milk. Blockbuster, that has nothing to do with blood donation.
Oh, really?
It does not increase your blood level. It does nothing. It's placebo. I think our mother just wanted us to drink malt and milk for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it has no iron content. It's nothing. I think it's
What
just
about ugu leaf, pumpkin?
that's exactly what we should be. So green leafy vegetables and iron containing things like proteins. That's actually what we're supposed to be taking for blood
Okay.
donation, and not
Malt
Malt
and milk.
and-
All right,
Please.
noted.
anyway, so that's really it with blood donation. So for blood groups, so there's no problem. Actually, every blood group can donate. So although we have the universal donor, those are the ones that can give to everyone, and then those that can receive from everyone. Every blood type or group can actually donate. What is the concern or where their contraindication is with your genotype?
Okay.
So if you are sickle cell, you should not be going out to go and give sickle cell blood. You can't donate, obviously, because with them, okay, I think I skipped that up. They're also part of the high risk group. So pregnant women under 5, and then the sickle cell. Why? Because I mean their blood type cells are sickled, so they continue losing. So they actually need recurrent blood transfusion.
Okay.
So apart from sickle cell, being sickle cell, every other thing is fine. Even if you're resource negative, which are actually the people that are actually supposed to donate more. So we don't have a lot. So when they tell you your blood has like a minus on it, sometimes they tell you it's plus. So those people with the minuses are rare. So they're actually the ones that are supposed to actually come out and
Okay.
donate blood. So whenever we have one patient, you need to see the drama. Literally go around the hospital and start begging. Do you have resource negative? Do you have? It's like
Wow.
it's so chaotic because they are rare. And whenever they come up, we literally have to find, because they just can only get from someone with that same blood type. But with blood type, there are no restrictions. Anyone can go. But if when it comes to genotype, AS can actually also donate. There's actually no problem, except they have classical symptoms that are leaning more to the sickle cell spectrum. There's actually no reservation. So I mean, if you're AA, so those are the other important investigations you need to do. Some people are not sure. 2022, some people around this country, they are not still sure. I'm not AA, I'm not AS. I mean, that's where you should start from. It's a win-win situation, because I mean, you get free screening investigations. You know your blood type, you know your sexual status. I mean, it's just like a win-win situation, and you live healthier. I mean, it's something everyone should want to do.
Is there a possibility that your blood group or your genotype can change after a period of time?
Okay, so technically, no. A blood group or genotype will not change, well, except a miracle happens and Jesus changes it. But what can happen, because with medical procedures comes the possibility or the probability of errors. So what can happen is that during your initial screen, an error might be made during the coagulation test, and maybe it was AS, but I mean, person reading of the sample wrote AA, or typing. Things as little as that, because okay, so ideally there's supposed to be an extensive procedure in determining things like genotype and blood type. But if you enter our labs and see what we do, it's not the standard. There's fatigue. There's like one lab technician attending to like 100 samples, so they literally just puts it's A and write. And even in that moment, you have had instances where you wanted to write A and you wrote B.
True.
True.
So no lab technician is above error. So those tiny things, and I mean, we shouldn't make those such mistakes, but it can happen. So instead of writing an AA, someone wrote an AS, or from the book it was saved, someone was typing. It's those little processes, chain of processing. So it's not like a blood type changed or your blood group or your genotype changed. It's simply an error happened. So what we usually advise is that, especially people that are trying to get married, repeat those investigations as many times as possible. Ensure that you're repeating it in a certified center. So don't go to one chemist at the behind of the behind and you say, oh yes, I did. Go to a proper facility, do it in one facility, do another one, and then have a tiebreaker and make sure that you are repeating those investigations, especially when you're trying to get married. There have been instances where individuals had screening done back in university and it was time to get married and they were pretty sure that this is my genotype. But I mean, a few weeks to the wedding, the church will say, oh, go and do investigations, and everywhere will ask us, I will start running up and down and all of that. So it's important that you repeat these investigations. It's cheap. It's not expensive. There's no harm in doing it. So repeat your investigations. Ensure that you're doing it in a good center and then have those correct values. So it doesn't change, but errors can occur along the chain of production, and that can lead to a change in the genotype.
Thank you so much for your wealth of knowledge. It was really amazing having you here. And of course, we've learned a thing or two about why we should all donate blood, the benefits and all of that. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we've still got the movie review and the game. So don't go anywhere. This is Vibe Cafe. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. This is a point of the show where we get to review a movie. Today we're talking about Press Play, a romantic thriller that is absolutely fantastic. I love the acting of this film.
Yeah.
Love the story. It was really touchy. The music was great. I think I loved everything about this film, to be honest.
I absolutely did. I love the fact that the movie is quite relatable. You see somebody, she loses her best friend. She loses somebody she loves. She has come to love this guy, and all of a sudden he just dies, and you see her go through the grief, the loss, and try to avert that day, try to do anything just to get 1 minute or more with this guy. I love the fact that this is something people go through. You lose somebody you've come to love, and you just lose that person all of a sudden, and you see them go through that struggle. I love the fact that she embodied that grief, that loss. It was beautiful. I absolutely enjoyed it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a film I would give a solid 7. I loved it.
I would give it a good 8.
Okay, all right. So you loved it a little more than I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a film you can totally check out if you love romance, if you love love like me. Check it out and let us know how it goes at Vibe Cafe Show. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll play the games. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Vibe Cafe. It's time for us to play the game. As you can see, I'm super pumped up. Today we are going to be playing a game called Song Association. All right. Rules are pretty simple. We've got some titles of some songs written on card with the name of the artist, and when we read it out loud, we take turns to sing those songs. How good are you with music?
Let's go down.
All right. We ready? All right.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay, the title of your song is Blow My Mind by Davido and Chris Brown.
Girl, you just blow my mind.
Blow my mind. Okay.
Your body did.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Your title is High. The name of the artist is Adekunle Gold and Davido.
Okay. High. Your body day high. No, no, like Adekunle Gold. Come on.
Yeah.
This is how I'm looking at myself, like this, like.
All right, your time is up, girl. Your time is up.
Can you
know
remind
the
me
sad
of this
thing?
song?
No,
No, remind me of
actually
this song.
cannot.
Like,
I actually cannot.
okay, let's.
I'm
move on.
like I'm
Like,
it's not coming.
it's all good.
to-
Okay, yours is I Can't Kill Myself by Timaya.
This life I can't keep myself.
Oh,
I can't keep myself. Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. Your song is Owambe by Simi.
Owambe by Simi.
You should love Simi now.
I actually do love Simi, but I can't remember this song.
Try. Think
I
of.
still have Timaya in my head.
Oh.
Help me out.
You
if
can
can.
literally not kill yourself. You can't kill yourself. What can you
Serious.
do? You know the weird thing. I think I've heard all
I
Simi
know
songs, but
this
this
song,
one
but
there, I haven't
like,
heard it.
I can't sing it out. I feel it happens. It happens.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember the song?
No. You took this crown.
All
Come
right.
on, you can have it.
Thank
It fits you well.
All right. Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
fine.
All right. You know what? This was fun.
Yeah.
Even though some of the songs are like,
You just
yeah, but it was fun. You can
Yeah.
totally try this at home with the people you love. You know, just check it out and let us
Yeah.
know how it goes at Vibe Cafe Show. Sadly, this is the part we get to say goodbye, but we'll come back next week so we can do this all over again. In the meantime, follow us on social media at Vibe Cafe Show. Follow me at Larry Nick.
and follow me at Fab Malin.
Until next time, bye.